Hi! You know that gut feeling you get when you get a long email with complicated sentences telling you what should you do and where should you find it? The email you need to read 3 times just to understand what the person wants from you. Or that gut feeling when you've had a Zoom meeting with several of your coworkers explaining a procedure a couple of times. A couple of times, not once. And still you get emails and phone calls about the same procedure. Throwing your computer is out of the question. The problem is not the computer. And no need to assume others are stupid or they don't listen. Here is the problem. 2/3 of people understand information better when communicated visually. In fact, we process visuals 60,000 times faster than we do text. Yet still many people rely on writing long, exhausting emails and having long, fruitless phone calls. It's time to put a stop to it. In this video, you'll learn about Snagit. Snagit is a super useful tool that helps you create training materials, how-to guides, animated gifs for technical documentation, or materials for marketing and better communication in your team. Snagit has a super simple screen recorder, snipping tool, and more. Before we go any further, click the button below and subscribe to my channel. Let me show you a few scenarios. While I show you these examples, try to imagine the amount of time and effort it would take if you try to explain the same thing with words, or if you try to create the same thing with a graphic tool like Photoshop or Microsoft Word. Here are a few scenarios. You want to share a print screen of an app with some sensitive data. You want to put extra attention to the part of the page, but you want to hide some parts of the page since it reveals some sensitive information. In the next scenario, you'll see how to make a simple video explaining the results of your last week's work. Then we'll make a simple how-to guide. We'll make it in less than a minute. Wanna see how? We'll pretend to be a designer that needs to give feedback on the new website. Then we'll make an animated GIF showing how to do a simple task, and we'll optimize the GIF size. These are just a few examples where using a visual is way more effective than using a plain text. And Snagit makes it quick and easy for you. In the process, I'll show you some of my favorite tools in Snagit. Let's start with a print screen on Acid. Let's go to the TechSmith's page. Snagit is made by TechSmith, the creator of Camtasia, a tool I use to make this YouTube video. TechSmith also has lots of useful resources. One of them is a list of tutorials that can help you with transition to remote work and e-learning. If you scroll down, you see tutorials about screen recording, visual communications, and they have resources for academics, all sorts of stuff. Like giving feedback in the video format, creating online courses, and resources for employees and business owners. Anyways, let's say I want to show someone where to find these resources. I'll go to the first page and I'll do something you cannot do with a regular print screen. I'll do a panoramic screen capture. This means I can make a print screen and include anything that needs a scrolling to be seen. I can record the screen vertically like we'll do now, or horizontally, which would be useful if we were recording something like a Trello dashboard. Down here you see, you can save your favorite presets. These are settings for capturing. I have panoramic scrolling and grab text. Yes, you can have a photo and scan the text from that photo with Snagit. Way more option than just making a regular print screen. So we have a panoramic selection and we hit capture to record the page. I'll go from here to here. And now I can use scroll to capture the screen that is not visible at the moment. I'll go down, 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 up to here, and then hit stop. And here we go. Processing. And it's here, the long print screen. We want the user focus to go to the link in the middle. I'll use another tool that is super useful in many cases. It's useful when we are showing the UI that might change in the future and we don't want the user to get confused. Or in case when we have some delicate data on the screen and we don't want the user to see this information. The tool makes all objects on the page simplified. Here it is, the simplified tool. We can simplify the print screen manually, or we can just select Auto Simplify and Snagit will do it for us. Here it goes, Auto Simplify. And the content of the page is simplified. Imagine you have to do a report and you want to show just a part of it. This would be a quick way to hide all that we don't want. Snagit automatically used the colors from the page. It analyzed the photo and created the color palette from that photo. Then it used the same colors to simplify the objects in the photo. Perfect. Okay, but what about the things we want to show? We wanted to show the area going to the remote working resources. This is quite simple again. What we'll do is click the Move tool here. That lets us select objects on the page. Now we can select all the objects that we don't want to be simplified. All over here. Right click and delete all the objects. And here it is. Let's zoom in right here. Just imagine how long this would take in Photoshop. In Snagit it was a matter of seconds. Perfect! And for those who really need an extra clue, let's add an arrow that points to the link. I'll select arrows and add one to the resources part. A little more here. Now this is really clear. Let me show you something else. If you are simplifying a page with a lot of data, you might forget what is where. For the editing purposes, we have a Show Original option. It's here in the Simplify tool, down here. You can change the opacity of the objects. But don't worry, once you share the image, the elements will be hidden. You will not show any information you don't want to share. Let's share it. One cool thing about Snagit is that it integrates with Google Drive, Slack, Dropbox, whatever you want. You even have more plugins than you can see here. They even have their own cloud solution called screencast.com, where you can share your file for free. Let's select it. This will upload the image we've created, and once it is uploaded, we'll have the URL in the clipboard. Yes, you can simply go and paste it into an email, chat, or anywhere else where you want to share the information. So how will it look? Let's go to the browser. I'll open it there. Here we go. It's opening. And see, our image is here. What we don't want to show is hidden, and there is an arrow pointing to the point of interest. Now you can learn about how to make your remote work from home easier. Perfect! Now let's take a look at another scenario and a few more cool Snagit features. Let's say you want to explain to your coworkers or to your students how to fill certain data into a web form. Here I have Dialogflow, a popular natural language parsing platform I use in my projects. I'd like my clients to create intents with all the possible user requests that might come to a chatbot. I want to share an interface with intents and let them know what and where they need to fill in the information. I could write the whole description, but the better thing would be to do a simple print screen and add a few tips right there. Less confusion and less work for me. So here we go. First I'll do a print screen. This time I'll do a region selection. Region is only what I choose, no scrolling. Let's hit capture and select the area. I want to include the left menu so that it's clear where they can find intents, like this. And here we have it, the print screen. One useful tool in Snagit is a step tool. Step tool will add steps in incremental order. So 1, 2, 3 and so on. Here is the step tool. You can see here we have some predefined themes for the buttons. We have a basic and industrial theme set by default. If you want, you can set the theme that is aligned with your company's design or with the colors of the image you are working on. If you use these colors and styles on several projects, it's worth creating and saving a custom theme. You would go here and select a new theme. You get this window where you can add colors for the theme. You can add up to 8 colors. Simply click the color and take the color picker to select the color you want to use. You could also write it in hex or RGB. All the shapes and callouts will now be in these color palettes. I will take the colors from Dialogflow for all the tutorials I make for Dialogflow. I have the 2 oranges and the blue and the gray. That's all I need. And when I have them, I can name this theme. The good thing is I don't need to set this up for every project. This theme will now always be available for me. Perfect. Now I can use the step tool to mark the elements on the form I want my clients to fill. First the intent's name, then training phrases, and lastly the responses. As you can see, the numbers are incrementing by default. So now that I have the steps, I'll just add a bit more information with the callouts. Click here for the callouts tool. As you can see, callouts now use the same thing, Dialogflow theme. This could also be your company's theme. Let's add the first one. Add name. Okay, this is not that useful since it's obvious. Let's shrink it. Now I can give a bit more information about the training phrases. I'll drag the callout here and write all the user says. This is all the messages the user sends to the chatbot. You know what? I don't like the orange. I want to change it to blue. Like this. I'll change the color here too. And now the responses. These are all the responses a chatbot will return to the user. You can set up multiple responses and have variations of the responses. I want to emphasize that for my client. Let me make it wider, like this. Okay, this will make it more clear for my client. First the intent's name, training phrases, and the responses. All fields have some extra explanation. Let's export the file. We could share it through Slack, Dropbox, paste it to a Word or more. This time I'll just export it as a file, as a PNG file. I'll name it intent@.png, like this. You see how easy it was to make a print screen and add some extra clarification with steps and explanations in callouts. This saves a lot of my time. Here comes another example. Let's say we have been working on something and we want to present results of our work. I've made some print screens of the campaign results. Right here I have just a few sample photos from Google Analytics. It could be anything you are working on. So here are the 3 dashboards with results I want to show and add some explanation. I could do it like I did in the previous example, just add a few callouts and send them to my coworkers. But I want to make it personal and explain things myself. I could make a video conference and invite all the coworkers. But I want the coworkers to have this information later on, just in case they forget. The best way would be to make a short video and send it. In the video, I can explain the results and give them information they might need in the future. First, I want to show a few more tricks in the print screens I've made. Let's say I don't want some data to be seen on this page. I don't want to show the URL of this website. I'll blur it so that they see it is from a website, but it doesn't show from where. Blur tool is here. We can use the dotted or blurred option. I'll go with dotted. And I'll just add it over the URL. Blur is a good way to hide information. But not the only one. Let me show you another option. Let's see the other 2 print screens. Let's say on this one I would like to hide this profile picture. But I don't want to just blur it. I want it to disappear like there is an empty space. What I would do is go to the selection tool and select the space around it. Right now I have a rounded shape, but I could also use another shape. If you want the selection to be exactly around the profile picture, you could use Snap to Object option, and it would snap to picture. Let's put it back. Down here we have 2 more options. Let me show you. The autofill and transparent option. First we'll use the transparent option. I'll select and go to the object. Here I'll right click and delete the area, like this. What do we have here? A transparent background. This is not okay. Let me undo changes. Now let me show you autofill. Autofill is great. Autofill will analyze the surrounding area and take the colors and shapes from the surrounding area to create a background. Since we have white around the selection, the background will now be white. Like as if there was nothing here before. Good, huh? This comes handy when we are planning, adding and removing new features, or if we are moving them around. I could move it to another part of the page with Snagit. Now we can put here a placeholder, like this. Yes, Snagit is more than just a print screen capture screen tool. Okay, now that we have our print screen as we want them to be, we can create a short video for our coworkers. I will select the 3 print screens with the Command key and click on the photos like this. Now I can right click and select Create Video from Images. And we have it all set up to start recording. I can rearrange images in the order I prefer, so I can just click Next during the recording. Before we move on and start recording, let me show you all the options we have here. We'll be adding a voice recording while displaying the images. That is this option here. I have it enabled. I can also record myself with a camera if I would like my coworkers to see me. But that option is available for me only after I start recording. I think that is only the case with a Mac. Anyways, you can record audio and video. Here I have enabled audio. Above the audio option, we can enable or disable the cursor. If you think a moving cursor would distract the viewers, feel free to disable it. The cursor, I can add annotations to the print screen while I record, to make things more clear. On the right, you have quick styles of the components you can add to the video. Now something really cool. You can change all these elements even after you have recorded the presentation. All the elements can be added or removed later. Except one thing. See the background of the images. Right now it's black. You can change it to match the colors of the print screen. Like this. I'll take the color picker and select the blue from the Google Analytics. It looks much better. I have this background on all the images. So yes, all the options can be changed later after you've recorded the video, but this setting cannot be changed. We have set the audio, disabled the cursor, we leave the video size, and now we can start the video. We can also enable the video screen recording while we wait for the video capture to start. Countdown. Now it's recording and we can do our presentation. Hi my friends, here is how our latest campaign went. We only see a little spike after the new release. I would suggest we take the promotion on social networks more seriously. Look at our competitors. I will not say their name, but they are super successful. With the corona pandemic, internet sales has gone up and we are missing the opportunity. Here is the report for each of our projects. Let's say I want to emphasize some data. I could circle around here to point something out. And yes, this is a presentation of how to do a presentation. One final word. I love how Snagit makes my life easier. This video explained my points better. And I'm done. Over and out. And done. Here we have the video. 31 seconds it took me to explain everything. Email will not even nearly be as effective. Remember, at the beginning I was still talking about recording. I'll remove that part by dragging the red handle here and selecting Cut. All the callouts and errors can still be added or changed before we export this video. Let's watch the whole video now. Once we are satisfied, we can export it. We could share it on the screencast.com and share the link, or I could add it to any drive or just save it as an MP4 file. I'll do that. I'll save it as a file. It needs to be exported and then I can save it. I'll call it results.mp4. Now I can send the file to anyone I want. I'm still not done. I've not shown you all the best features of Snagit. Here is another cool feature that was added with the last version. Templates. What do I mean by that? Let's say you need to show steps about how to install something. I'm going to think of something simple. Let's say you have a junior developer and you want to show how to create a repository on GitHub. I know, a super simple example. You've made a few print screens of steps the developer needs to follow. First one is to create an account on GitHub, then create a repository, name the repository, and follow the instructions after that. Now let me show you something. I will select all the print screens with Command and click the image and then right click. Then we select this. Here we've got a ton of templates you can choose from to create a simple instruction pages. More templates can be found on TechSmith's page. My favorite is Basic Step Portrait. I'll select it. Here I can rearrange images from start to end and add captions. I will rearrange photos. Just the other way around. This one here, and this one here, and here. I prefer to add captions on the following step. Now let's name the document. I'll call it Basic Git Repository. To create a document, click Combine down here. And voila! Here it is. We can see how the end page will look. You can add instructions for each image. First step will be create a GitHub account. Next one, create a new repository. The third is name the repository. And also select visibility. Will the repository be public or private? For the last step, I will simply write, follow the instructions. See how simple it is. I could still rearrange the steps or give them more space by dragging this blue handle. Like this. Let the steps breathe. This was simple, huh? Let's just add a subtitle. Create a repository. And I'll change the title, like this. Now I can send this to the junior developer. Again, all the sharing options are available. I'll just export it as a PNG file. Remember, most people understand visual instructions way better than plain text instructions. And this did not take too long to create. Imagine creating this in Word or Photoshop. You know what? I'm curious, how would you use Snagit? Let me know. You can comment below and ask me anything about Snagit. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Okay, now you know how to create a print screen and simplify it. You can create a how-to guide, you can create video from images and add audio and video, and you can create print screens and hide the information on the image, and you can make it disappear. But I also mentioned you could move things around in the print screen. Let me show you how to do this in Snagit. It's more than simple. I'll show you a simple example. I'll create a print screen of TechSmith's webpage. Let's say I'm their designer, the UX guy or girl, and I want to provide feedback on the webpage. Here we go. I'll capture the screen, like this. To move objects, we can use the Move tool. I'll select Smart Move. This will search the image and try to recognize the objects on the image. Here it goes. Now you can select parts of the image and move it. We could delete this text and move the button lower. The same with text and title. We could suggest removing the video and adding an image. You can see how simple it is. You don't need to recreate the page. You just make a print screen and move, delete, and add new features to the existing page or app. With all the features and tools the Snagit provides, this video is getting longer. But as you can see, it really simplifies a lot of things. I cannot end this video without showing you how to create a GIF. Sometimes when you have a simple task that takes less than 30 seconds, the best way to show it is with a GIF. GIF, you cannot add a voice. So this is useful for simple tasks, like demonstrating how to fill a simple form. You can use a GIF in a tutorial to show a simple task. Again, I'll show you an example. I'll take the dialog flow form and add in the required data. We'll be adding intent's name, training phrases, and a response. First, I'll record a video. I won't be using a webcam. I'll just do a simple screen capture. This will be an intent where the user asks when the store is opened. Countdown, waiting. We can fill the form now. Let's add a name. Open time. Training phrase will be, when do you open? Like this. And a bot responds and explains the store opens at 8 AM. A super simple intent. This is just to showcase what is the required data for the intent. And here we have the video file. Let's see. It looks okay. We captured what we wanted. And the video is just 18 seconds long. We could add some annotations and after that we would export it into a GIF. The video should not be longer than 30 seconds. If it is longer, it's better to use a video. GIF is really for simple short tasks. To export it to GIF, click the GIF button. Here I have a few options: screen video, high motion video and custom. Screen video is best for videos like we did now. High motion would be recording a video with your phone with lots of motion. With the custom option, we can set the rate and other properties. Let's export it as screen video. Let's click the Create button to start the export to GIF. Now it's creating a GIF. Creating. Done. You can see it down here. The newly created GIF is down here. Let me show you something. If you hover it and right-click, you can get the information about this GIF. Get info. And you can see here, the size is 1.1 megabytes. That's a lot. Let's try to shrink it. But how? Well, let's try with custom settings. I'll leave the GIF and go back to the video. Again, I'll select Export to GIF, but this time I'll select the Custom Optimization, and we'll get more settings we can customize. Frame rate is the number of frames per second. A higher frame rate produces smoother video playback and can result in the larger file size. We can change the dimension. Right now I have the percentage, which does not tell me much. I'll change it to pixels. Oh yes, we can make this video a bit smaller. Let's resize it to 1000 pixels width. Dithering prevents color bending and helps produce smoother video content. Dithering can result in larger files, but we'll leave it. Dynamic colors are recommended for most videos. Enabling these options can result in increased file size. And then looping. If looping is enabled, the animated GIF plays back on a continuous loop. And the last option causes the animated GIF to fade the last frame to black. The only thing we have changed is the GIF size. It's still big enough. Let's create the GIF with a new size. Creating, and here it is. Let's see the new size. Right click and get info. And the new size is 700 kilobytes. Much better. You've learned a lot about Snagit in this video, and I did not even cover it all. But this video is getting too long. Now you can do advanced print screens with panoramic shooting, recording them vertically or horizontally. You can add annotations and callouts, hide quickly the data you don't need with a simplified tool and blur, and you can move objects around on the captured print screen. Amazing! From print screens you can create step-by-step tutorials like we did for the GitHub repository, or you can make a video with your voice or even capture yourself talking in the corner. And this can all be done at once. No synchronization, no hard post-production. From a recorded video you can also make an optimized GIF. GIFs are perfect for showing simple tasks. So yes, I'm a Snagit user. I use it daily. But I'm also their affiliate, since I'm a fan of their software and I cannot work without their products anymore. If Snagit is the right tool for you, then I would appreciate if you buy from the link in the description. I get a super small fee. If not, you can still buy me coffee at the other link to show appreciation. This helps me to produce more quality videos for you. In any case, Snagit is a golden tool for developers, e-learning professionals, marketing people, and everybody who works in a field where good communication is a key to quality work. Before you buy it, you can try a trial version before you decide. Okay, a few more things. Once you buy Snagit, you get access to the TechSmith certification with high-quality videos that will teach you even more about Snagit. You'll go from fundamentals to workflows. Knowing workflows is great if you want to simplify work in your company. Then you can watch specialized techniques for technical documentation, training materials, and marketing materials. And yes, Snagit makes communication in your team much easier. No more long emails answering the same questions over and over again. Use Snagit, this is what it's for. I've been a Snagit user for some time, but still this certification showed me a few more tricks. You can still find free trainings on TechSmith's site. Everything from capturing, creating, editing, sharing, and more. You can ask me any kind of questions about Snagit you might have. Just leave a comment below. And if you have an idea of how to use Snagit in your work, leave a comment. Before you go, subscribe to my channel. You can also find me on other platforms. Feel free to connect and ask me questions. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.